YouTube. Oh man, what's up? Out here enjoying nature, man. Enjoying what God created for us. Oh, come here, buddy. But anyways, got a good one for y'all. Back to school special. So y'all stay tuned. We're teaching the same thing. Take a look at this beauty, y'all. Hey, let's go find the zero guard. Let's get to it. All right, my client had dreads, man. I asked him what happened. He got his mom to cut his dreads. He just said, he just was ready for a different look. He had an undercut, but what we about to do, we about to blend all of it in and have a nice taper fro. So first we're going to go in with the toner. It's a witch hazel that I use just to prep the skin and the hair to get ready for the cut. Make sure the hair lay in the right direction. Definitely when we picking through it, it's like a conditioner. So it just helps me get through the hair well. And that's one thing you want to do before you cut anyone's hair is get through it. Make sure it's going to lay and it is laying in the right direction, whether you combing, brushing, picking, or whatever it is. We got my Andis Cordless Masters, and we're going in. They're very good for taking down bulk, very powerful clippers. And we have I believe this is a 3-guard. Yes, it's a 3-guard. He said he didn't want too much off the top. So we just going to blend it in and, we're going to get it down to a desired length. And then the rest of it is going to be just a freehand, because he said he didn't want it too low. So I decided to go ahead and cut it down with a 3 and freehand the rest just to continue to, keep his hair like he requested. So, yeah. Understand that the video is sped up, so don't think I'm going through his hair roughly. Despite of how it looks, I'm actually taking my time and going through very gently. And here I go, just with a free hand, and you want to make sure that you combing the hair out very thoroughly, just to make sure you getting the correct shape. Because once you take it off, you can't put it back on. So just be very careful and thorough, and this is just the first go over, just to see where we at, just to get a good look of where I'm going with it, because it is a new style, and as you're doing it, you have to just be very specific in everything that you're doing. Working in the first guideline with the Cordless Babyliss Pro Gold FXs. It's not the FX blade on this, it's the 2.0 original blade. I just like them better for cleaning out bulk, that blade specifically. But this trimmer comes with a FX blade on it, which is, made for lining up, sharp lineups. And now I use this right here for cleaning out bulk and just making, real clean guidelines to start my fades out with. You can use your clippers with your lever closed to start your first guidelines out with, and then go over it with your liners, whichever way you're comfortable. Starting out with our blade crack barely, and it's the 2 notches showing if you're using the Masters. If you're using other clippers, is just barely crack. Close it all the way and just barely crack it open and go up a 1/2 inch. We're going to open up and we're going to go up another 1/2 inch, as you just seen me do. This is one guideline. This is the first half of the fade. It's cracked and then it's all the way open. Both a 1/2 inch, a 1/2 inch. Then we're going to close up. I just close it up. We're going to go ahead and take care of this first half. We're going to go ahead and blend it in. While we can get a good view of it, it being dark up top, we haven't taken care of the second half. You can see the bottom half of the blend a little bit better. Now we're working on the second half of the fade, which is a 1. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to go up a 1/2 inch. and I'm bringing out my comb because the hair is getting longer. I have to direct it in the way it goes just to get a better blend. Opening it up, going up another half an inch to make the second half. Turning my clippers back around to lay that hair down. We have a fro. So we want to just take our time and just take those dark spots out. We want to make it smooth. So this when your barber skills come in handy. The control of your wrist, just using your barber eye. And you want to do the same thing all the way around. And the thing about barbering is you have to pick out what system works for you. Once you find that system, you want to stick with it. We're on the back neck taper. It's the same thing we did in the front. It's just a wider area. And once you find your system, once you find what works for you and the clipper that works for you, the clipper that you want to use, that's when you can begin to really express yourself, to really tune in to your clippers and your system, just to be a great barber, to figure out what type of barber you are is to have your tools down packed, your system down packed. Therefore, you can come in and create, the best work that you've done. And we're doing the same thing. We got that clipper cracked. We're going up a half an inch, and then we're going to open it up, going another half an inch. Once we have that panel clean, we close it all the way up. We take out that first guideline that we put in with those liners, and then we crack it open a little bit. Just going ahead and going off that contrast of where it's dark to get those details in on that first half of the fade. And once you do that, it don't have to be perfect. You move on. Go on to put that one guard on, and you go up another half an inch. Now it's a fro taper. As you can see, the way my wrist is working, I'm going ahead and blending as I'm putting in this half inch guideline. I'm going ahead and fading up, and don't be afraid to do that. Don't be afraid to go into freehand, go into territories that hovering above that hair to go ahead and blend in, man. It takes care of a lot of work. Go ahead and learning how to freehand. We just open it up, and we're doing the same thing, same motion, and I'm going up a little higher. Now, my clippers are not always on the scalp. I start off with them on the scalp, creating that half inch like I tell y'all, and then I freehand going up, and that hair is going in all type of different directions. You have to hone in. You have to bring out that comb, bring out that brush, and just see which one directs that hair. And just like we did on the taper, we're gonna go ahead and do a brush down with the clippers. And like I said, I'm not always on the scalp. I put the nose of my guard on the scalp, and I tilt my clippers, and that's creating the different that's making that blade stretch, that guard stretch, if that makes sense to you. So that's a form of freehanding. So you have to get in there, and you have to feel that for yourself and see how that hair is hidden through that blade when I do this or when I do that. Dusting off the client here, as you can see. Just keeping a clean canvas throughout is very important. It's about visual because you want to see, definitely when you're about to hit the lineup. And we're going to go ahead and put this lineup in. And these are my silver Gold FXs, the original one. Doesn't have the original blade on it. It's the DLC. The original blade was on my Gold FXs. But this DLC blade, I like it, man. Great for lineups, and yeah, I zero gapped it, using it, keep it greased up very well, and just makes your blades last longer. The thing about a lineup is, when you talk about a clipper or trimmer or whatever, a lineup, however smooth you are with your liners or with your clippers, that's how smooth your cut is going to be. So when we talk about a lineup, just being smooth, knowing how to navigate and use your corners is very important. Secondly, making sure that blade is zero gap properly, not really You don't want it too far over, but you want it just right. And these clippers specifically, it's about the usage. Once you get the use, once you break them in, they're good off jump, but once you break them in, they're even better. So once you got a good zero gap, hey, it's just about the usage and keeping the blade oil. Right here, we're on the front end of the lineup. Some of you already know you've been listening. So I go in for a sloppy copy, and first we go in for the vertical bars first, and we're not trying to be perfect. We're just trying to get something. We're trying to see, and I believe that that's what makes a cut great. You tiptoe through it. You looking, you're analyzing as you're cutting, and this sloppy copy just preserves the hairline, making sure definitely if you got a first client, doing a sloppy copy technique helps you to preserve, helps you to get a visual, so you can step back after that sloppy copy, and you can just see where you're at, and then you can go in and inch by inch, you can put a nice lineup in and preserve the hairline. And quick tip, sometimes it's not the hairline itself, but it's the hair that hangs over. If you watch closely, sometimes I'll knock that hair down over the top front, just for we can get a great visual on where the hairline really is. And I'm constantly combing because hair is constantly falling over, and you'll see that that's not going to be the last time. Understand that I don't believe, in my opinion, that no one is getting a straight lining off jump. You have to work at getting a nice, clean, crispy lining. You're not just gonna do it off jump. You can sometimes, but most of the time, you won't. It's just consistency and going back. It's not a one-time thing. So stay in it, stay confident, and right here, I'm done with my sloppy copy. I stop for a second. I look and I analyze. Y'all didn't see that second. It sped up. Then I come back and just take small baby steps on that lineup to get a somewhat perfect, because it's never really perfect. It's all a illusion. But being a barber with your skills, you can make it look darn near perfect. And to the untrained eye. But you understand what you had to do to get that line up straight. But this technique just helps you to preserve someone's hairline, and you'll never take them back. You'll never take them back, and I can stand on that, man. I feel like that's a fact. Get you a good sloppy copy in first, and just tap. Take your time and just tap. Use your corners. Remember, it's all about being smooth. Definitely on these, some people call them C cups. Definitely on the sides right here. It's just about tapping it in and being smooth with your wrist. Because whatever shape you're making with your wrist, that's what shape is going to come out on your lineup. So remember that. So if you choppy with your strokes, your lineup's going to come out choppy, and you're going to have to fix that, or you'll be able to tell afterwards. Okay, this is my second time over the fro. Like I said, I just kind of skipped through it. And that's just because we're not trying to be perfect straight off. We get perfect later on in the cut. But now that I have my foundation, I see where I need to knock down. So that's exactly what we're doing right here. And it's pretty self-explanatory, man. Definitely right here, it's time to knock down those hairs that's hanging over the hairline. That's gonna help you, because we're gonna have to go back, and it's detail work. That's what barbering is, you know. I don't believe people understand how many repetitions you have to rep over something. Um, as far as barbering goes, I believe with anything, man, it's just all about wanting to go back, wanting it to be detailed. That's how you get better. That's how you get quicker. That's how you get faster. There's no one thing that just speeds you up. Okay, I left out finding the zero guard on the first round. Like I said, we're just trying to get something. So I have that zero guard on right now. And what I'm doing is I'm going back for the details. Now that I got my line up, I trimmed over the top. Now I just want to show out. And that's exactly what I'm doing. So that middle area right there, you can see it. It's dark within that area, and so that's what I'm going for. That's what I'm attacking. And we're on the back neck taper. The same thing. That's what that zero guard is for. Is to bring that light to dark area together, just to create a beautiful, just gradual change from light to dark within that fade. It's a beautiful thing. We want to find that zero guard. So that's the this technique or this system, people call it. That's what this system is about, finding the zero guard to bring it all together. Everything is about prep work. Everything is about just seeing, using your barber eye, and just being ready for any situation, whether it's this type of haircut or another type of haircut, understanding and analyzing which way the hair is growing. This is called a clawing technique. That technique, that's a very important, that's one technique that I use a lot. And just like I was saying though, I'm sorry, get a little excited about that technique, man. It's a great technique. But yeah, same thing on the other side, man. I got that zero guard on and I'm going in. Took the zero guard off and I have no guard. And this is another same clawing technique, same thing. And this is for the lower half of the fade. When I got that zero guard on, I'm working on the mid and upper half of the fade. When I take that off, I'm working on the bottom part of the fade. If I want to work on the top, I'm doing exactly what I'm doing right now. I got that comb in my hand and I'm doing clipper over comb and I'm taking care of all that bulk. So it's like I'm a samurai with two swords right now. I can work on the upper half of the fade because I got the comb. I can work on the bottom half of the fade because I have no guard on and I can hit my lever work. So you have to understand where you can just take advantage of the whole haircut at one time. And that's why I say this is your detail time. Once you got it, it's time to show out. Once you went through the steps, it's time to show out. And it's just a beautiful thing with these Andis Masters. It's my tool of choice, to grab a tool and it to be an all-around, all-purpose tool. You can shape, you can fade. It does everything. And right now we are going in on this detail session. I don't have the brakes on me anywhere. I'm not turning around to pick up any guards or anything like that. Everything I could do, everything right here. Clipper over comb. I can break it down, close that lever up, and work on the bottom part of my fade. And this what detail work is all about. As you can see, boom, working on the bottom, flipped around to get my brush because I need that clean, that surface area clean. Now that we got them details in, and we did the brush, we did the trim over. So I got some of those hairs off the lineup. We going back in again. Like I said, I don't believe sometimes it happens where you can get a crispy lining off jump, but most of the time you're going back for the details. Don't be fooled by anything. Anything that you see that just looks nice, super it's ripped over and over and over again. It's going back for details and just seeing as you go, saying, oh, I'm gonna go back and get that. I'm gonna go back and get this. But it's about your systems. Once you get your system set up, you'll be able to master the details. You'll have time enough when you get to the end of the cut. You know exactly what you need to go back for, because you're breaking it down, you're analyzing it. And sometimes it's like, I believe some people can get lost in the cut because they're trying to do the details while they're trying to figure out and find out, get something. You got to get a visual first. You got to get it your base. Then you have to go in for the details later on. So you'll be doing a cut and you'll save stuff to do for when it's time to detail. But for the most part, you need to go through your systems first in order to come back and really get the details. Sometimes you can get the details too early and you will lose track of where you're at in the cut. So get through the steps first, the basics, the ones, twos, and threes, and then come back and do the details at the end. And you'll see the difference in the timing that you'll cut. You'll see the difference in the cut. You're managing yourself well during the cut. Going back in over the line. This is the most important part, the front, because the hair hangs down over the line. That's when you're talking about a fro taper. And you want to, the vertical bars, you want to comb or brush that hair the opposite way in which it grows. You want to bring it to the line so that hair can hang over and you can trim that hair right there. You can trim that hair, and then you want to brush it or comb it back down to its regular position in order for that line to come out super crispy. Like I say, sometimes it's not the hair, the line in itself, but it's the hair that hangs over the line that makes a line looks like it's, makes it look squiggly, or if it's not crispy and set in place like you want it to. But it's about repetitions, and that's what I'm showing. I'm showing the reps that I'm putting in to get these line up crispy. Pulling out that razor right here, and you want to stretch that skin, and you want to be smooth, just like everything else. Barbering is it's supposed to be smooth, so you have to get yourself in the zone and understand that this is something that's supposed to be pleasing to the client. It's not supposed to be a bumpy road. So get yourself in a zone to where you can give the most enjoyable haircut. Definitely when we talk about a razor, because you can nick the skin, and that's one of the reasons why we go in with the witch hazel first to prep that skin so that razor can slide really well. If you were to apply a little bit of pressure with your clippers, it won't leave a welt because the skin is toned up. But you don't want to depend on that witch hazel, but you want to depend on your touch. You want to depend on how you have your clippers zero gap, and keeping them oiled, all the maintenance to give a great line without whipping the skin up. Right here, we're pulling that hair back, and we're getting that corner, and we're coming down with that razor, and we just placing that razor right in that corner and chipping those little hairs. And that's what it's all about. That's how you get a crispy line, and you continuously comb through the hair or brush through the hair just to make sure, if it's hair hanging down, go get it. Don't think 1 second, because your client is going to be happier with you. You're going to be more happier with yourself. And somebody's going to see that cut, and guess what? You're going to get another client. So be proud of the reps you putting in. Be proud of, that's the type of barber you are. You never want anybody coming out of your chair lacking. And if you do, hey, take note and get it right the next time. Don't get discouraged, but take note. That's why it's important for you to film your stuff too. You can watch this 100 times, but if you don't do it yourself, then it's in vain. You have to put the reps in. You have to put the hours in. I'm still combing. I'm still going in for the details, and the cut is coming out crispy. I'm really enjoying this, man. I hope y'all are too, man. Thank y'all for watching. First off, don't be afraid to comment. Don't be afraid to let me know what you need to see or what you're working on. Don't be afraid to hit that thumbs up, because it's not for me, it's for you. The more love y'all show, the more love I can show y'all. That's just how it works. My thing is helping somebody. I don't care about the crazy amount of views or subscribers or whatever the case may be. I live a blessed life, and I do this for far more than just those things. Those things don't help me at all, but the things that I have can help y'all. So, hey, let me know, man. Going in right here, I ran out of product. First off, let me tell you. So I just put a little water in his head, and he has a looser curl pattern. So the water, it did a little bit, but it didn't do everything that it could do. So that's one of my things. I gotta go to the beauty supply store and pick up some more product. And as you can see, just analyzing. I'm not through yet. So y'all walking through this process with me. And just checking out my spots. Y'all see the dark spots up there? Yep. And the lineup is crispy. It's nothing too much else that I need to do. It's looking good. It's looking good. Man, I'm going to get some more product. I'm going to keep that in mind. Went back, as you see, no more dark spots. I went back and I fixed it. And that's what we have to do. See, I went back and I fixed it. Go back and finish.